So I want to do this EDC video to talk about what I carry. The belt is an Aries Aegis Enhanced. Even this 3-pound Smith & Wesson 686, it carries it no problem. It doesn't even feel like I'm carrying anything hardly. As you see here, the Smith & Wesson 686 7-shot. And I have it loaded with these Remington UMC semi-jacketed hollow points. They're only 50 cents a round and they perform damn well from what I've seen. And these are the ones that, as far as I know, the police used to use back in the 80s. These were the famous semi-jacketed hollow points, 125 grains, that got the reputation of being the famous one-shot man stoppers. But I like them. 1500 feet per second, semi-jacketed hollow points, a great design. They expand very easily because they're not fully jacketed, and I just think they're a really good round. So that's what I carry. I'm gonna get these out of the way. So as you guys probably already know, Speed Scabbard is what I carry in. Phoenix PD 35. I really like this flashlight. It's 1,000 lumens. 18650 battery, rechargeable. I've beaten the shit out of this light multiple times just to demonstrate. I've beaten it against the concrete while it's on, and this thing will not even flicker. It's just been a great light. I've had it for years. I have one on my AR-15 as well, just a really good light. They're only about 70 bucks, so they're like a couple $100 cheaper than Surefire, and they're every bit as reliable. The pocket knife I carry every day is Benchmade Griptilian. This is not the mini, this is the regular Griptilian. I believe it's 3.5 inches. I'm not sure, but it's really good knife. I like it. I like it better than Spyderco and the other knives because lever to open it up, and it's got one of the strongest spine strengths or whatever. Whenever they test it with the hydraulic pressure, it holds up extremely well. It has a very strong locking mechanism. Also, I do keep it razor sharp. I don't know if you can see here on the camera, but it just shaves that arm hair right off. And it's a damn good knife, works great. It's about 120, 130 bucks, somewhere around there, but had it for a couple years and it still works good. Love it. During the day, whenever I don't really need light as much, except for whenever I'm working on an engine or something of that sort, when I just need to see something, I don't need 1,000 lumens to look into an engine. You know, 90 lumens is more appropriate for stuff like that. So even though this is adjustable, this is just what I carry during daylight hours. Rat's Tourniquet, I always carry this thing, always. 15 bucks, and a lot of people like cats, but I like the rats better because it's easier to apply with one hand. You notice that I keep it pre-looped, that way I could just strap it right on and get to work if I ever needed it. But the thing I like about the rats as well is you can use it on infants, on smaller children, if they were to get hurt or whatever, if they're bleeding out, femoral or whatever, brachial. You can use this on the tiniest of child because you can see that you can make that loop extremely small, and so it can work on a smaller child, whereas the cat's tourniquet, you have to do some southern engineering to get it around a tiny child's arm because it doesn't go that small typically. Like a small wallet because I keep it in my back left pocket where I keep my flashlight, so I want enough room for my flashlight and my wallet. But this one's it's just a card holder, and I super glued in a little clip to hold cash. So as a backup gun, I usually carry this little Ruger LCP. This is the LCP1, but this is whenever they fixed up the trigger a little bit to be a little bit slicker than what the original LCP was. But this is still the LCP1, just with a smoother trigger. Spear gold dots and that. It really all depends on what I wear on how I keep the LCP. But what if I'm going to the grocery store? What if I need to carry inside the waistband? What if it's a problem reaching up to a shelf and exposing my outside the waistband holster? Well, in that case, what I carry is the NSR Tactical inside the waistband holster. Has the soft loops. On the back of this, you see that I have Velcro, and it's for this Dr. Scholl's insole pad. It makes it much more comfortable when you're carrying Kydex inside the waistband. So I put that on there rather than foam wedges. I found these foam wedges don't make it much more comfortable, and they just wear out too quick anyways. So I use the Dr. Scholl's insoles, and they work really well. It makes it much more comfortable to carry inside the waistband, and it also presses the butt of the gun in a little bit more, which makes it easier to conceal. And in the Glock 19, I carry the Underwood 147 grain plus P plus. These are the ones loaded with the gold dot projectile. I also have the 124 plus P plus, but I prefer the 147s. They're both about 450 foot-pounds of energy, roughly. But I like the heavy for caliber in this case. Normally I go Gold Dot 124 plus P, but in the Underwood plus P plus, I just go with the 147s because they expand ginormous. So I like these in the Glock 19. And this Glock 19 was my everyday carry for years. And I didn't put a lot, I only put probably about 1,000 rounds through it because I had another Glock 19 that I would use for the range. This one has about 13,000 rounds through it. This is the one that I beat up and wear out. Never changed anything on it. It still works perfectly fine. Never changed any springs, nothing, and it's still working great. But this is what I use for the range, and this is what I use for carry. I just don't believe in wearing out your carry gun. I think you should have a separate gun for that that's identical to what you carry. And both of these have the exact same sights, night sights and all that stuff. So, and last but not least, I have a Glock 43 that I use for the gym, and I carry that in a pocket holster. This one has the Talo Edition sights. This is a Talo Edition Glock 43. Has the pinky extended mag. And of course I carry this crap everywhere I go. But inside this Glock 43, I carry the HST 124 plus P rounds. These are what I like for short barrel guns. And since the Glock 43 is a short barrel gun, that's what I use in this. And but this is just my basic, this is just my gym carry. This is what I carry at the gym. Or at night when I'm in my PJs, throw this in my pocket, and makes it easy just to have something in your pocket when you're just walking around and just laying around. But anyways, that's a quick overview of, maybe not that quick, but that's an overview of a few of my different things that I do for EDC. Like I said, I actually do carry every day, all day, so I have to carry in a bunch of different ways, a bunch of different guns to conform to whatever I need, whatever situation I'm in at the time being. I always carry, and I make sure that it works for me. And sometimes I just can't carry a 4-inch revolver outside the waistband all the time in some situations.